Okay. A couple more quick ones, and I guess these are also equally important. It hasn't been mentioned, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that the worst case scenario, if we don't move forward, the federal government implements an exchange in 2014, but it's also true according to the regulations that are in place that the state can take it back over within the first 12 months of operation. Is that correct?
If you want to take the tab, the $25 million tab to do so, we would have foregone all of that seed money in the process. And so
I'm not sure, you're saying there's a requirement for the state to repay the federal government for establishing an exchange?
No.
we would have to establish our own exchange.
No, I'm saying if we missed the deadline in 2014, the federal government implements an exchange, which is what the rhetoric of, federally run exchange versus state-run exchange. If we haven't implemented a state exchange through federal grants, the federal government implements an exchange, but the first 12 months the state eventually begins the process of taking over and running the exchange.
Well, I can answer that just a little bit differently. It wouldn't be within the first 12. The actual statute or the regulation they're proposing is that there would be a minimum of 1 year ahead that they would agree to it if we could show we were ready to do it. So it couldn't happen in the first 12 months, but at some point with 12 months notice and with funding to erect the state systems that aren't erected, we could move to a state exchange.
But I believe the federal government erects the systems, correct?
For interacting with federal systems, not Arkansas.
The last question, and it's just so moving forward we know what the option is. I'm sure others will ask the questions that I have remaining, but want to make sure we emphasize the point that everybody sitting up here actually has no authority in this discussion whatsoever. I appreciate you seeking our input, but the decision to apply for a level 1 establishment grant is completely left up to the executive. Is that correct?
The position of the chief executive of the state is that the legislature took a position during this session, and if they want to modify that, he's got to hear from them.
I understand his position, but the fact is, only thing required is a letter from the governor to apply for this grant.
A letter from the governor or a letter from you all to the governor.
A letter from us is not required for the grant. It's going to be sent into the package.
The governor is requiring input from at least a large percentage of the members of the legislature.
The governor's asking for input, but my point is, only the governor can authorize application for this grant. I don't want the legislature to get blamed for a decision that we don't make. I appreciate him wanting our advice, but the fact is, only he can make the decision to apply for this grant. Is that correct?
I would say that the actions, the legislature dictates the action from the governor, and so if the legislature wants to make it known that they think this is prudent and business-like to stay in the hunt, all they have to do is let him know that that's their desire. And I'm
not trying to be aggressive. I just, when I read the rules, it requires a letter from the governor. And so I might not agree with this decision. In fact, I'm pretty, at a certain point, I tell you what I think you ought to do. But the fact is, I can write Jay Bradford a letter from John Burris. You won't even put it in the packet. The only thing you put in the packet is a letter from the governor, because that's what's required from the DHS. Right?
And it won't do any good to write me a letter. You have to write to the governor, or at least an email, some type of communication.
Somebody's got to make a decision, and it's not us. That's my point.
I would welcome a letter from you.
It's an option, an individual option that everybody within earshot has an option to support further planning or not, in the way that that needs to be conveyed to the governor is by some type of form of communication, either email or telephone call.
Representative Burris, I believe we all know that it will take a letter from both sides to get this moving. So
all that's required is a letter from the governor, I guess is my point. Thank you, and I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Burris. Our next question.